Let's quickly start with our lesson for the day, of which I believe it could be best if I ask you what you have covered from school up to so far, so that we align our work with what you are doing from school. So, because this is the same thing, it must not look like we are doing a different thing with what you are doing from school. So, let me find out from you, what are you doing from school now?
We are doing polynomials
All right.
and algebra.
You are doing polynomials and algebra. Okay. Okay, polynomial and algebra. So let me note that chapter down. Can you also send me the questions we can do under these two chapters or these two topics, polynomial and algebra? Okay, I would like to find out from Mukundi as well. Mukundi, what are you doing from school?
Numeric and geometry.
All right, numeric and geometry. Geometry, is it analytical geometry or Euclidean geometry? Is it that one of shapes or that other one of distance formulas and other things?
Shapes.
Oh, it's the one of shapes, ne? All right, it's a very broad topic. I know about this topic, so I will focus on that one. So now let me just have the questions from you about polynomials and algebra. And then immediately after we finish with these ones for polynomial and algebra, we are all going to focus on geometry, of which I would like to put a star on this chapter. It's a very, very important chapter. So we need to have a very nice time together so that I take you through. At least you guys from Chikeva, I had a good time taking you through a topic of Euclidean geometry last year. So we have covered a few theorems together about Euclidean geometry. If you still remember, we have done a lot about that chapter. But for Mukundi's sake, I would still have to go deep into that topic so that you can all be familiar with this important topic. So, but in the meantime, I would like you to send me some questions on polynomial and algebra so that today and tomorrow we will be focusing on these two sections. Is that fine with everybody?
Yes.
All right. So send me questions. All right, wonderful. I now have the questions. So I would like to give you a little background about polynomials. So whenever you hear about what is called polynomials, we are simply referring to a function which is in this form. of x to the power of n. It's a very simple function. It's a to the power of n, wherein the n we have here, it can be given as an integer. N is an integer. So this is a very simple polynomial we have on the board. So let me take you through of what polynomial function does. So polynomial function, it can give you different kind of functions. It can give you a straight line function where when n is equal to 1. So when n is equal to 1, so we're going to have x, which is a straight line function. So it's a straight line, and in this case, it's when n is equal to 1. And we can also have what is called parabola. I know you don't have this, you don't know this by names, but I believe it doesn't cause any harm by giving you names of these functions. So we have x squared, which we call a parabola, and that's when n is equal to 2. And then we also have what is called the cubic function. So this is when n is equal to 3. So then now when n is equal to 4, equal to 5, equal to 6, we no longer do such kind of functions. So you may find them appearing, but we don't consider them as a function because it's going to be a very difficult function, which you can do at university level. So at secondary level, up to grade 12, you are going to do up to function of order 3. You will not go beyond this. And you are fortunate that I gave you the names of these functions that we do cover. But just know that polynomial, it can represent different functions in this case. So now, with the example that I'm given here, let's use that order of polynomial to arrange the given expression. And the question it says is question number 1. It says arrange the following polynomials. So, and you can see in this case, they say polynomials because there are many. We're having many polynomials in that case. So that is just one polynomial, but on these expressions which I'm going to write, we have many polynomials, of which we are supposed to arrange in descending order. Can any one of you explain to me what do we mean by descending? I did not write the correct word. Descending. What does this word mean? Descending. Because it's the key for this question. So when they say we must write it in descending order, what do they mean exactly? Any idea?
That we must arrange from the biggest to the smallest.
Very true. We are going to arrange from the biggest to the smallest. Let me just give an example. Let's say we are given numbers instead. We're given 4, 3, -7, 8, 11. And we are told to arrange these numbers according to the descending order. So it means we are going to start from 11, then we go to 8, we go to 7, we go to 4, and then we end with 3. So this is in descending order. They are decreasing. So these numbers, they are decreasing. So it's the same thing we're supposed to do on this question that we have here. So, but fortunately, instead of given the numbers, we are given expressions with x to the 6 minus 4 plus 3x squared, 3x cubed plus 7x minus 5x to the 4 plus x to the 5. So we're supposed to arrange this according to the descending power of x. So let's start with the highest power of x on this expression here. It's called the expression because you can't see any equal sign. Otherwise, if we had the equal sign, it was going to be an equation, but now it's an expression. So let's start with the term that have highest power. But I would like to find out from you before we consider that. How many terms do we have from this expression? How many terms are they?
6.
We have 6 terms in this case. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the first thing we need to do. From these 6 terms, which term have highest power?
X to the power 6.
Is having x to the power 6. So that is the first term we're supposed to have in this case. And then the second term with highest power in this case is which one?
X to the power 5.
X to the power 5. So it means we're going to have x to the 6 plus x to the 5. After that one, which one do we have?
Negative 5x to the power 4.
Negative 5x to the power of 4. And then after that one, which one are we going to have?
3x to the power 3.
3x to the power of 3. And then which other one do we have after that one?
Plus 7x minus 4.
Plus 7x minus 4. So you can see in this case, we also have this minus 4, which does not have x. So when it does not have x, that simply means it's having an x with the exponent of 0. So if you like, you can write it, but if you don't, you can leave it as it is. It's okay. But just know that if it's just a constant, it means it's having an x with the exponent of 0. And this is how you can write this term according to descending. Are we all together on that question? Is there anyone who did not understand what we have done from that first question? You are all fine, right?
Yes.
All right. Let's go to the second question. So the second question is about writing this function according to the descending power. We need to write this function according to the descending power. So what is going to be the first term, the highest term in that case?
Negative 5x to the power 2.
Negative 5x to the power of 2. And then after that one, what are we going to have?
Plus x.
We are going to have plus x. And then we end with what? With 8. That was simple, ne?
Yes.
All right. Remember, these people who write books, they write from the simplest going to the difficult ones. So, and now we are getting to question number 6. I'm very interested to have your participation on this one. So we have x, y to the power of 3 plus x squared y plus 9x cubed y. Let's write this according to the descending order. Which term is going to be the first one in this case?
9x to the power 3y.
9x to the power 3y. Why is 9x to the power of 3y? Not,
Because
yes.
it has the
All right, that is the fair point. Is the highest because it's having the highest exponent on x. Don't focus on y. We are not talking about the y here. We are referring to the exponent or the power of x. So therefore, this is the one that has highest power on it. Okay, bear with me. My network is not stable today, so we may encounter this disruption. But I believe it's only today because even in my first class I had today, I was experiencing these difficulties. But I will let you know whenever it stops, like what it does just now. So let's continue. Rufuno indicated to us that this is going to be the first term with the highest exponent on x, right? So which one is going to be the second term after having that? After
The
having,
power 2y.
yes. So it's x squared 1. And then the last term, of course, is going to be xy to the power 3. Do you all agree with what we have on the board? Do you all agree with what we have on the board? Can you hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you, but it's freezing. So.
Oh, it's freezing. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry. My network is not stable today, but I believe it's only today that we're going to experience these kind of things. So you are all fine with question number C, right?
Yes.
All right. So let me write question number D. Actually, question number D is simple. Let's skip question number D and question number E, and we focus on question number F. Let's do question number F together. Now, what will be the first highest term on this one?
Negative 2x to the power 4y.
Which one will be the highest term then?
Negative 2x to the power 4y.
And then after having that one, which one is going to be the next?
Plus x to the power 2y to the power 4.
And then for sure, the last one is going to be xy to the power of 3. Do you all agree with me on that one?
Yes.
All right. There's just one thing which I would like to add. But before I do so, tell me how many terms do we have on this expression on equation number F?
3.
We have 3.
3.
So at all time, you must be able to tell how many terms do we have from the expression. So you must be able, you must all be able to tell the number of terms we have from the expression. So in this case, we have 3 of them. And on this question, we have 6 of them. On this question, we have 3. And on that question, we have 3. So now, if we come across a situation wherein we only have one term. So if we have one term, this is called, it's having a name. Is there anyone who remember the name when we are given just one term?
Monomial.
It's monomial. You must not forget this. It's monomial when it's having one term. And when it's having 2 terms, what do we call this?
Binomial.
That is binomial. And then when it's having 3 terms, what do we call this when it's having 3 terms?
Trinomial.
It's trinomial. And remember my statement that at secondary level, you do up to what? Up to trinomials. So you don't go beyond the trinomials. You may come across a situation where we have x to the 6, but let me assure you that on the side of functions, you are not going to go beyond the trinomial. Otherwise, it will be very complicated for you to deal with such kind of scenario. So now let me go to the next questions here. So we are having a table. And on this table, we have to complete it. We'll complete it together today. So I'll just pick few questions and we do those questions together. So on this table, we are given algebraic expression. So these are algebraic expressions. And we want to know if that given algebraic expression is a polynomial or not. So we need to answer yes or no, if it is polynomial or if it is not polynomial. So if it is polynomial, we need to state the degrees. So we need to state the degrees of that. Let me write it in full. If a polynomial in X 8 degree, and then the last column is when a polynomial is Y. Polynomial is Y, and then we need to state the degree. So the first question that is given here, we're having x to the 3 minus 2x squared plus 5x plus 4. I would like to find out from you if this first question we have there of x to the 3 minus 2x squared plus 5x plus 4 is a polynomial or not.
It is.
It is a polynomial. Very true. Because it's having an exponent of 3 here, an exponent of 2 there, an exponent of 1 there, and an exponent of 0. Therefore, it's an exponential. So let's state the degree of the highest term on this in terms of x.
It's 3.
It's having a degree of 3. Does it have a degree of y? Does it have a degree of y?
No.
It doesn't have a degree of 1. So therefore, here you can put a 0 or you put a dash like that. So let's do the same for the second equation. The second equation, we're having 2xy. Is that a polynomial or not? It is a polynomial, ne?
Yes.
So the answer is yes in this case. So what is the degree on x of that polynomial?
4.
The degree of x is what?
2, 1.
Is the exponent up there? Ne? It's 1.
Yeah.
And then the degree on y?
1.
Also 1. Are we together? All right. So now we are getting to the complex ones. So 5 over x minus 8x. Is that a polynomial or not?
It's not.
It is not a polynomial because of this term. So if you remember very well, 5 over x minus 8x is the same as 5x to the negative 1. So 1 over x, we can write it as x to the negative 1 minus 8x. So polynomial does not have the negatives. Polynomials doesn't have the negatives. Therefore, that cannot be, it cannot be a polynomial. So therefore, this is no, and here we can just put the dash like that. So let's go to number D. On question number D, we are having root of 16x plus 3ax. Is that a polynomial or not? Is that a polynomial? We are having root 16x plus 3ax. Is that a polynomial or not?
It's not.
It's not a polynomial because you can't write this in terms of the positive exponent. So therefore, in this case, we have to say no, and then we push a dash in that case. So I believe you are following the logic of these questions. Remember, I'm doing the questions you sent to me, of which I would like to find out from you, out of all the questions, which one do you think you cannot be able to comment if it is polynomial, and then the degrees of that a polynomial? From those questions you sent on the WhatsApp, which one do you think it can still give you problem? You can be able to comment on all those questions, right? Is that so? Is that so? Can you be able to comment on all those questions? All right. Otherwise, if you are fine with what we have covered today, I think from my side, if you are all fine, I can see, I think Maramba, she joined just now. Maramba? Maramba? Hello, Maramba?
She muted herself. She muted herself.
Oh, okay. Maramba, can you please unmute yourself? Oh,
She's gone.
All right. No, it's
She's
okay. But I wanted to tell you that
She's back.
Oh, she's back, unfortunately. I don't know if it's because of the network problem. So, but I wanted to tell you that from my side, I think we have covered enough for the day, because I don't see any other thing which might give you a challenge when you comment with regard to the polynomials. So we have covered almost everything on the polynomials. So tomorrow I'm going to continue because you suggested the first is polynomial and then the second is algebra. So tomorrow I'm going to focus on algebra, and we do as many questions as possible on algebra. And if you still have other questions on polynomial, don't hesitate to let me know. I will also do that part tomorrow. Is that okay, everybody?
I'm sending you the class work that he gave us. He said that we should add the polynomials.
Okay, is it the one you sent just now? Okay, let me check. Is that an assignment?
No, it's a class work.
Oh, it's a classwork. What was the question on this one? I don't see the question there.
It was D and E.
The main question of that of what is given there, what was it about? I think you can send the previous questions. Send me the previous questions so that we see what was the question is all about.
One day.
All right. Because we still have time, I believe we can do this now. And it could also favor Maramba because she just joined it now. But I would like to find out if she can hear us.
She said that she can't hear you.
She can't hear me.
Mm.
Okay, but she muted herself. Can you please ask her to check her volume and also to unmute herself?
Okay.
Yes.
It's not doing because of a network. It's not working.
Oh, unfortunately.
She said that she's having network problem.
Oh, unfortunately. But I'm recording the lesson. I will have to send it immediately after I finish with my classes. All right, let's do this question together. So the question is about adding all the polynomials. You can see we're given different polynomials here. We want to add all of them. So this is what we're supposed to do in order to add the polynomials. So we're going to have 2x squared minus 5x. And then we add with x squared plus 4x. And then we add with minus 7x plus 8. Do you all see what I've done there?
Yes.
After having that, you can then group the like terms. Grouping the like terms simply means that those which are having the same exponent, you write them together. So we're going to have 2x squared plus x squared, and then minus 5x minus 7x, and then plus 8. I left another term there. Is 4, and then after
plus 4.
Is that okay with everybody? All right. After having that, we can then add the like terms. We can add the like terms. So let's add the like terms. So adding the like term, in this case, is going to be this and that. We add them together. We're going to get 3x squared. Do you all see how we got that 3x squared?
Yes.
And then after that, we're going to have negative 5 minus 7, which is negative 12x. What will be the last term there? What is the last term? So we have 3x squared minus 12x. And then the last term we have in this case is what?
12.
Is 12. Is that clear to everybody?
Yes.
Can we do the second question?
Yes.
All right. So we have x squared minus 3x plus 1 minus 2x squared plus 7 and then minus 5x minus 12. We are required to add all these terms together. Let's add them and see what we get. So we're having x squared minus 3x plus 1 minus 2x squared plus 7 minus 5x minus 2. So we group the terms together. When you group them together, we're going to have x squared minus 2x squared minus 3x minus 5x plus 1 minus, in this case, plus 7 and then minus 2. Do you all see what we have done on that last step there?
Yes.
All right. Then is there any one of you who can tell me what's next to do after having that?
We add the like terms.
We need to add the like terms. And when we add the first two like terms there, what do we obtain? We get negative minus x squared, right?
Yes.
And then the second term? What's the second term?
Negative x.
Is negative 8x, right?
Yes.
And then the last term?
X.
What